What's going on, guys? We are going to do a Facebook Strong Life Live Q&A here. And those of you that are not catching it, you got to follow me on my personal profile. Anybody who's a tech master, hit me up with a message because I do not know how to go live on my Facebook pages, such as the Zach Evanesh page, the Get Wrestling Strength page. I don't know how to go live on those pages. So I believe what you guys have to do is just follow me on my profile. And from there, you guys could ask questions. So we're going to take some questions now. Shut down this computer. Vinny Fry in the house. Dynamic Fitness. If only people knew what a gym that was, right? Shauna Kaminsky, GetLiveLeap.com. I don't even know what that is. Shauna, if you could message me. I don't know how to connect to my fan pages or whatever they're called anymore. Oh, man. Pen and Paper Strength app just joined. Aaron joined. It's about to get real. Rich Rivera's in the house. What's happening? This is going to be great, guys. Oh, man. Ron McKeefrey. We are getting legendary with each and every one of you. I wish that we could be in a room together, person to person, to tell stories. That will help me connect my pages. Thank you, Shauna. I will dig into that. Squat deep. That's the only way, Aaron. Well, actually, I did box squats today. I noticed you do not do too many box squats. And I'm jealous when I see you going overhead and benching and doing all that stuff. My body has not held up the test of time as yours is. Ron McKeefrey, Iron Game Chalk Talk, one of my favorite podcasts. Congratulations on being with Play down in Georgia. Brett, the whole team, amazing people. Awesome. Brian D, watching from the Lions cage. Let me tell you about Brian D. This guy took a bank loan to attend that last public underground strength coach certification. That always tells me who's the best. Vinny Fry, his uncle owned Dynamic Fitness. You guys always hear me talking about the powerlifting platform that I dared not step on, even when the powerlifters weren't there. Because you had to be invited. You had to earn your way onto that platform. Vinny's uncle welded all the equipment. This was strength heaven. I mean, heaven on earth. That's what it was, guys. I wish there were more photos. There's Heidi Toy. I wish there were more photos of Dynamic Fitness because I try to explain it and my words just do not do justice. First question comes from Chris Frank. Front squat question. Feel my mobility is not getting better. I roll out the lats, forearms. Yes, you need to do triceps, shoulders, and lat stretches. Easier for me to just say, go to Mobility Watt on YouTube, and K-Star has multiple videos on how to set your body up for that front squat. And also what you're going to do is you're going to have to do a lot of front squats. You may have to. I've noticed people take too close of a hand position on the front squat, and their elbows flare out. And it almost looks they're about to go into a bodybuilder front squat. I like to take a slightly wider grip, and I want you to do pause front squats. So when you get to the bottom, I want you to think chest up, elbows up. A lot of times I see people who aren't experienced, they front squat, and as they go down, their elbows drop, and their elbows are pointing down. I don't think anybody on earth has worse mobility than I do, and I've got a good front squat. Not great, pretty good. And I did a lot of pause front squats. Carlos Ortiz from SoCal, underground strength coach. Great to see you. Scott Morgan, of all the coaches I watch, you're my girlfriend's favorite. That is a rarity to hear that, Scott. Most people are offended by me because I curse and tell the truth, but I appreciate that. Chris Hicks is in the house. Chris Grant, thank you. He says, great podcast with AJ. Aaron, you do not have worse mobility than me because, and guys, for those of you watching and listening, Aaron runs Lifters with Attitude, Pen and Paper Strength app. They're on Instagram. You're able to go overhead. I basically have been assessed multiple times, like Travis Mash, the guys at Resilient Performance Physical Therapy. If you lay on your back and your arms cannot be straight and just casually fall to the floor, your lats and basically upper back are too locked up to safely and properly go overhead. So that's where I'm at. If I put my arms behind me, they hover a couple inches off the floor while laying on the ground. Tyler Jacobson, thanks for coming. Mike McCabe, I miss you, dude. Let's get some questions going here, guys, because I'll be posting this up on Facebook, maybe on iTunes, maybe not, but let's get some training questions. Strong life, business, whatever you got, drop those questions. I've also only got 20 minutes because my kids and my niece are here, and they told me I have to go buy ice cream sundaes. And I'm also going to preface that with the fact that I will not eat ice cream. And I'm serious, I will not. Do you do a lot of banded bench work, squatting, deadlifting with your athletes? I do not. It's very, very rare. They have to be advanced lifters. Advanced athletes are way different than advanced lifters. And our athletes, like, they could be squatting with us for years, and we're still working on bettering the technique. They're just not at that level. I like zero squats for MMA. I like Zercher squats. Yep. Zercher squats, pause squats, sandbag squats, squatting with medicine balls. I love doing all that stuff, so it's all good. I'm also not the kind of guy that says this is the only type of squatting that you should be doing. So we use them all. What do you think of ratios between lifts? Front squat, back squat. Oh, it depends on the athlete, Alexander. When I assess an athlete, which is every single workout, if they have horrific posture, chest is always dropping, we're going to do a lot of kettlebell front squats, double kettlebell, single kettlebell. We mix it up. But I also want to know this, is that sometimes, the technique of an athlete who's got all these mobility issues from all their sports, they're just not going to look like the weightlifters you're looking at on Instagram and YouTube or on IronMind. They're just nowhere near that level, and I think we have to stop hoping that that's going to happen. We have athletes, and we're trying to utilize the gym, the weight room, to make them better at sports. So I get less caught up in the numbers. Vinny Fry, try to get together with Nick Santonasso. He's an inspiration. Man, Vin, it is hard to keep up with the who's who out there, but I would love to connect with anybody who's an inspiration. Can you recommend a good book to teach kids to have a positive growth mindset? Yeah, they should read my book. And I know that's self-serving, but my book is all about turning obstacle into opportunity, struggle into strength, and tragedy into triumph. That's why I wrote that book. I would also say they should read Arnold's Education of a Bodybuilder. He talks a lot about the struggles of what he went through to become a bodybuilder and then a movie star. And he's, a true American success story. Sure, he's done wrong things, but who hasn't? Who is perfect out there? I don't know. I don't know, but I think that's a great question. So my book and Arnold's Education. Efrons asks, what's up, Zach? Have you been able to overhead press using a trap bar? I've got limited mobility. Yes, I have done that, but my shoulder got re-injured, and it's just not in the cards. It's just not smart for me anymore to bench and press overhead, so I'm not doing that. To go back on another question with the books, Spartan Up, Joe DeSena's book, and Living with a Seal. I'm looking at my desk right now. I also love some of the IronMind books like Super Squats because it's all stories. I love that stuff. The go-to book for the right mindset. Man, there's a lot of books like that, Chris, but I'm going to say Lone Survivor and No Easy Day. Reading books like that, like you think you've got it hard, and then that changes your frame of reference. Spartan Up, again. Coach Andy just jumped in. Coach Andy's the coach at Manasquan, and we'll be at our new one. Mark Signorello, Sigs, one of our favorite guys. RP Wrecking Crew is great. Mark is from Roselle Park, now at Penn State. Coach Ranieri's son trains with us. I love pulling sleds, doing underground style workouts. How do you keep guys wanting to come back, even when they're making major gains? Gains. Everybody wants flashy. That's right, Chris. We keep them coming back, but we lose athletes like everybody else. Yesterday, I had a kid. He's a senior, 130 pounds, 135. I mean, he's a hockey player. He needs to train with us. What did the mom say? He's going to be so busy, blah, blah, blah. You know what he says to me? I'm going to work out in my basement. I go, dude, please tell me you're not that fucking stupid to think that what you're doing in your basement is anywhere near what you will be doing here. And people are delusional. Not everybody lives for the relentless pursuit of excellence. And all I can do, all my coaches could do, is we give all of our heart, all of our effort, energy, soul. And that's what does it. After that, I can't control anything. I give them not just everything I've got at the gym, but I send 3 to 5 member emails a week. I'm constantly trying to motivate, educate, inspire, but ultimately it is up to them to not buy into the bullshit, to punch their excuses in the face, and to be a hard charger. Sigs wants to know our all-time favorite member of the RP Wrecking Crew. That is a tough call. You guys were all unique in your own crazy ways. And, I love all you guys. And what's also most important to me, Mark is a former athlete that we worked with, is, what if you were just successful in sports, but then after, now you're in college, I want to see you crushing it in college. Then I want to see you crushing it with your career. So when I come across you guys, that's what I want to see. To me, that's the most important thing, to be a champion in your life, not just, the guy with the biggest bench press. Josh Werner asks, while training an athlete, how would you handle a very invasive, intrusive parent who thinks they know it all? Josh, that doesn't happen at my gym, because even on my website it states no parents allowed in the gym, period. Because we've had that back in the day. We don't allow them to hover around the gym. They're just not allowed. And anybody who's intrusive, you just have to say, listen, Dad, if you don't trust me, I'm just going to recommend that, I'm going to refund your money, even if they train for fucking 30 days out of a 31 day, refund it all, and say, we could maybe try this down the road when you trust me, but right now you're shouting over my shoulder. Your son doesn't know who to listen to. He's gonna hurt himself because he wants to impress you going heavier. He doesn't know who to listen to. I don't work with people like that. You listen to my podcast with my buddy, the Barbell Buddha. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you, Alex. Jesus, welcome to the show. Jesus has been to New Jersey multiple times and did the certification as well in Texas. Great guy. Colin Deanna says, when strength training somebody twice a week, what movements would you have them do each day? Colin, it depends. Am I working with a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 18-year-old? What does that person look like? I want to see them move. I want to take them through our warm-up, which is their assessment. So if you've gone through my Underground Strength Coach cert, and by the way, guys, the certification is discounted, I believe 30%. Just went on sale tonight. undergroundstrengthcert.com. So it's discounted, but I need to assess that athlete because I've had 18-year-olds look like 14-year-olds and vice versa. The assessment tells me how I'm going to train that athlete. But everybody's going to do a variation of squatting, lunging, carrying, sleds, body weight push-pull, unilateral upper body, unilateral lower body. But the exercise specifics are going to be pulled according to what that athlete specifically needs. Sigs, great seeing you, buddy. And yes, the new gym will open in Scotch Plains. Looks like late October because they're doing all the construction. Let's get some more questions, guys. I love the training questions. Tomorrow we will have where the podcast is already up with AJ Roberts and I. We talk about the relentless pursuit of excellence. It started out as kind of like a financial business thing, but it always comes full circle. A successful strength coach is one that lives for the relentless pursuit of excellence, which means you're an awesome coach. Beyond the skills of squat, bench, deadlift, power clean, you are a mentor, a leader. You're an inspirational figure. You walk the talk. You don't just talk about it. Team training, Chris, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, meaning Sometimes a coach can lead a team. I'll tell you, I've had luck with it, and then we don't discount them anymore. I've had other times where just kids don't get it, their parents don't get it, and they don't follow through. And sometimes it's like, listen, if they're looking for a discount all the time, it's just not going to work, because eventually they're going to leave because all they want is a discount. Jose asks, hope all is well, what type of training and what movements would you use for soccer athletes? Greetings from Peru. Awesome. I had a pro soccer, or guy was trying out for a pro team, was a Division I soccer player, and he trained with all the athletes. We did squats, carries, power cleans, sleds, back extensions, abs. We did all the basics. He was very athletic. He loved to work hard. So before and after the workouts, I'd pull out the speed hurdles. On my YouTube channel, you could see him doing like hurdles in and out, running forwards, backwards, jumping over the hurdles. He loved that stuff. And I'm going to stand up, guys. I can't fucking sit down. There's something to be said about, let's see if you guys can see me okay. This will work. Nope. Something to be said about the buy-in that athletes have. So there's been a big debate with banded power cleans. Look, if an athlete is going to buy into that method, that's going to make him better. It is certainly a highly advanced method for power cleans, but what I'm talking about is the emotional and mental buy-in that athletes have. Most people don't understand that, or most coaches don't understand that, and that's what you have to do to keep athletes motivated. You got to find out who's needs the variety, who's eccentric, who needs some of the wild shit, and then you got to find a way to implement it to keep him or her fired up. So I hope that helps you out, Jose. Matthias says, what an awesome podcast. Thank you, sir. Jonathan Vega, how about coming to Costa Rica? We had a coach from Costa Rica come out to New Jersey. And his name is drawing a blank to me. I'm so upset because he was one of my favorites. He was just super cool guy. I'll have to come out to Costa Rica. I'll have to bring my family. They will be pumped up for it. Matthias says he's pumped up after listening to the podcast with AJ. Thank you. Carlos says, any tips for someone who wants to offer underground style fitness class through city parks and rec department? What kind of people to target? What kind of exercises to include? Listen, bro, what you could do, Carlos, is you might even be able to do this through your community college where they create an exercise class. You might use the dumbbells and body weight. Maybe you could build some sandbags. When I ran my first training camp, it was out of the high school. And I would train them in the basketball gymnasium, all body weight, take them into the weight room. And then in the back of my SUV, I had a couple sandbags, couple sleds. I had it backed up to the field. They would do sandbag work, clean and press, squat, carry. We'd put them in groups. And I remember, let's say it was a group of 4. You would do a clean and press. We would all do 1 rep. 2, we would ladder up, ladder down. Then we would do shouldering, 30 seconds max reps. You go, I go. We would do that for like 4 or 5 sets. You're going to implement the stuff that we did when we were in CrossFit SoCal. And also, the best certs are always at my gym because I could show you guys everything we do, what we really do. Sometimes I go to these gyms, they have 50-pound dumbbells, or their kettlebells are 60 pounds, like nothing's heavy, or there's no sleds. Like, that's the shit that our kids need. How to work on mental toughness with clients. You got to push them in training, get them comfortable being uncomfortable. You've got to have maybe a book of the month club. Get some books, buy books in bulk. They take them out, they bring them back. Recommend movies. I do all of those things for our athletes to get them tougher. I send them Spartan Up podcast videos. I give book recommendations. Sometimes I'll buy 8, 10, 12 books, and I will gift those books to the hardest worker. So I find ways to inspire them, educate them beyond the gym, because there could be a big disconnect when they leave your gym. All of a sudden they're hanging out with people who are like, let's smoke cigarettes, let's smoke pot, don't work out, come hang out with me, let's play video games. They all of a sudden start thinking, oh, I'm so crazy, I'm so weird, I need to be normal. Fuck normal and fuck lazy. I just hate that shit. So you must Build people into the machines you want them to become, and not everybody will make it. Chris says, only training kids 1 to 2, 3 times per week. Can you handle? I'm only training kids 1, 2, or 3 times a week. How do you handle kids at home with nutrition? We always talk to kids about it. They need to eat. Chris, when athletes sign up, they get a welcome packet, nutrition guidelines. I make YouTube videos. I send them videos. If kids are not eating, I will write it out, how to eat on a piece of paper. I will make them take a photo of it. And every day, myself and my coaches are like, what'd you eat for breakfast? What'd you eat for lunch? Then the kids start doing it to each other. I remember one kid was like, I'm going to be a state champ. Then next week, we're like, what'd you eat for breakfast? He's like, pizza. For like 3 months, all the kids were harassing him. They're like, pizza boy. You don't want it. You don't want to win a state title. You're eating pizza. They get so tired of us saying, what did you eat? And so tired of us harassing them about what they ate that they start eating eggs, bacon, turkey sandwiches, steak, chicken. I give them recipes for a homemade protein shake, milk, banana, a spoon of almond butter, adding some dried oats. I mean, we push them, bro. They'll come and say, I only had a bag of chips. Yes, Chris, they will say that shit, but this is what you say. You don't want it, man. You don't want to be a champion. I gave you the welcome packet. Did you print it out? No? Well, you print that out. And you sit down right now. We write down what you're going to eat from now on. And if you want to be a champion, if you want to train, follow through. If you don't want to be a champion, then you're wasting your parents' money. I think some of you coaches, you're scared to say, boom, do this. Otherwise, we're just adding negativity by you're not eating. Just got to be like, yo, man, you ain't eating. This is what you got to do. And I want you to do it. You are capable. Follow through. Let's fucking go, man. You got to tell them. Lachlan McIntyre joined. What's happening, my man? Rich Rivera trying to learn Olympic lifts. So hard on myself. Oh, you're so hard on yourself. I'm not getting the cues correct. Do you think I can get underground strong without Olympic lifting? I didn't start getting good at weightlifting until I started hanging around Travis Mash. So Travis did, I think, 2 weightlifting only seminars at my gym, and I took part in them. Then when him and I would do our certifications together, when he would teach the clean, I would do the cleans with him. I would do the cleans with the group. So I was always learning. So my recommendation to you, Rich, I'm not sure where you live, find the top weightlifting coach and join a weightlifting class. They will coach you and they will get you better. What automated systems do I use for my business? I use Wodify for the gym, and for the internet business, I use ConvertKit for emails, Samcart for the shopping cart. Coach Rosa just jumped in. Guys, Rosa is one of my favorites. Great success stories, one of our coaches. And I was thinking about him today because when I squatted, Rosa weighs 145. And yesterday he box squatted 365 for a double. And I think today I only squatted 350 for a double. And I weigh 220. So he's stronger than me. It is official, baby. It is official. He inspires me. Coach Pritch says, Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to you, my man. I know you're ready for school. You're a great teacher. We need more like you. Tyler asks, is there anything specific you do regards to your knees being years removed from your ACL repair? Yeah, my ACL repair was done, I think I was 27. I'm 40 now. I do a lot of sled work. I do a lot of back extensions, glute ham raises, deadlifts. That hamstring must be strong, that posterior chain. And after I had ACL injury, that was the beginning of me being a strength coach. I didn't have the knowledge. And when I started learning my most was spending time on the phone with Louis Simmons. He's the one that got me dragging sleds first, and that was the big change in the health of my knee. So now when any of our athletes have a knee surgery, I say, let's say they have surgery Friday, I go, show up on Monday. We'll pull the sled a little bit, and then little by little, we build them up, little by little. I'm going to take 2 more questions, guys, and then I have to go get ice cream for my kids and my niece. It's hard to say no to them. They're too cute. They run my world, those kids. Craig Frost in the house, and I always have to do a little history lesson. Craig Frost wrestled my younger brother when they were in like 6th grade. And I'm watching Craig Frost. Craig Frost is a close friend now. Coach at Roselle Park, sends Roselle Park kids to us for probably 6 years now. And I'm looking across the way at Craig and I'm like, this kid's a nerd. He knows this story. I'm like, he's a nerd. I don't tell my brother, but I'm getting my younger brother psyched up. I used to be very tough on my younger brother. And Frosty comes out and just destroys my brother. Destroying would be a nice word. It's more like kids, when I was teaching elementary school, said distrominate. That's destroy and dominate. He destroyed my brother. He was like tech falling him, and then he was about to tech fall, and then he pinned him. Craig Frost says, how much road work should wrestlers do in their training in the offseason? I love this question. I'm actually not a big fan of the distance running. I think some kids, if they emotionally buy into it, once a week they could go out and run 3-4 miles. But I'm going to tell you guys a story. And actually, one of my parents just asked me, her son's a wrestler, and he joined the cross-country team. And every kid we've trained, when they join cross-country, it's like they get out of shape. They lose tremendous muscle, and it's like they lose conditioning because they're just taking it slow. Now, I know Coach Pritch is a track coach. I think he does cross-country. But what I would love to see is more of the sprint work. And for wrestlers, our most successful wrestlers don't even run. I love hill sprints. I think hill sprint repeats are tremendous. So there's a certain buy-in, meaning Rosa, I remember senior year, ran to the gym the week of districts. That was the year he went to the States. He ran to the gym, which I think is 3 miles away from his house, maybe 4 miles. He could let us know. But I prefer the sprinting, or like the way we train them. For example, today, 5 sets of 3 on the box squat followed by 3 jumps. Squatting, jumping, change the weight, go. Squatting, jumping, change the weight, go. Do 5 sets, then do a round of pull-aparts and abs. Then we did trap bar deadlift, 4 sets of 4, speed, coupled with kettlebell or dumbbell bench, 4 sets of 8. Deadlift, bench, 4 sets, boom. Pull-aparts and abs. Then they were done with that. Sleds, back extensions, 3 rounds. Push the sled, pull the sled, back extensions, go, go, go. Done with that. They did curls, they did grip, they did abs. But it's that strength endurance, that power endurance. What I would rather see wrestlers do than running is the sprint work, jumping rope, and circuit training with weights. And what is the best conditioning for wrestling? Being a hard frickin' worker in the wrestling room. Hard speed drilling is the ultimate wrestling conditioning. There you have it. Yes, it was 3 miles, Rosa says. Mike says Z has the best stories. Thank you, guys. Ori Ortega is in the house from Panama. I've got so many stories, guys. And now I have more stories that I'm realizing that means I am old. I'm freaking 40 years old. Coach Pritch says our 113 will be cross-country varsity, but not many run with me in the fall. Oh, our 113-pounder. I hear you on the distance stuff, but the hills at a hold. I'm not sure. Oh, Homedale Hills. Yes, I heard there's some brutal hills. So I believe wrestlers need to drag sleds. I used to have the wrestlers when we were training outdoors on the field. They would drag sleds for 6 minutes. No, 5 minutes, then 6, then 7, then 10, then 12 minutes, nonstop. Now I'd like to see them drag the sled and then do another exercise. I'm going to close out with this, guys. Here was my favorite conditioner, Frosty. When we used to train athletes out of my garage in Edison, we would lift in the garage, we would train in the backyard, logs, sledgehammers, hand walking. I'd make them pummel and drill on the grass. Then we'd go to that playground down the street. There were sections, right? We had the big grass field. That was probably 120 feet long. Then we had my truck. They'd push the truck up the parking lot, easily 150 feet. While somebody was doing that, somebody was dragging the sleds back and forth. While the one guy was doing the truck, there was a very short hill that would take you about 6 seconds to sprint up and down. So you would be sprinting the hills until the guy was done with the truck push. So you'd go sleds, hill sprint, truck push. From there, they would run across one section of the parking lot. They would military press the picnic table. Then they would do split squats off of the picnic table bench. Then they would max out on pull-ups. Then they would sprint back. I built them up to 20 minutes of that. Sometimes I would have the guys sprint up the hill, pummel a couple times, and then hit like a duck under lift. So I was incorporating some specific stuff. And what's interesting is I've come across on Instagram some old videos, of some of those different states like Georgia and Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, and they're training out in the woods. They're training out in the mountains, and they're drilling on the grass or like on cement. They're doing all kinds of drilling. And I feel like that shit builds you into tough, because kids get so used to training on the mat that when you take them even just slightly outside their comfort zone, it builds their toughness. And Frosty, I remember you seeing our guys wrestle the first time on that front lawn, and you said, man, I can't believe it. They stood around for like 5 minutes until somebody had the bravery to wrestle Mike DeVito. So that's the truth. They weren't used to wrestling on grass. They were waiting for a wrestling mat and a referee. Mental toughness. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Got to get ice cream for the kids. UndergroundStrengthCert.com is discounted for the next few days. Check it out. Head on over to ZachEvanesh.com, see the latest podcast, blog articles, and subscribe to the newsletter where it says start here. Thanks, guys. Much love. Angel, thank you. Brian, thank you. Coach Rosa, you're the man. Hope to see some of you guys stopping by the gym. Frosty, you're awesome. Relentless pursuit of excellence. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you guys later. Keep living the code 365. Why? Success takes no vacations. That's why. Punch your excuses in the face. Later.